I welcome you all to session 14 of the Tragical History of Dr. Faustus, written by Christopher Marlowe. Today we shall discuss about Act 3, Scene 2 and 3 in Act 3. So, in this session, we hope to learn about the insignificant achievements of Dr. Faustus. Uh, we have already seen from the beginning of the play how Dr. Faustus exploit his dearly bought power. He goes on the rampage in the Vatican. He intervenes effectively but inconclusively in the strife between the Pope and the Emperor. He conjures for Charles V and he revenges himself on a night. When the knight retaliates, he takes a second revenge. He conjures for the Duke and Duchess of Vanholt. He tricks a horse dealer, and when the horse dealer retaliates, he takes his revenge on him too. For the world of profit and delight which these pranks represent, Faustus voluntarily barters his soul. So, after this session, we learn about Faustus's downfall from great ambition. 24 years pass remarkably quickly. Faustus's magical ability seems more and more like cheap trickery. Meanwhile, he loses his interest in the study of astronomy, the universe, and the earth gradually. But by the end of the play, his main pleasure is to play practical jokes and to produce impressive illusions for nobles, than ambitious pursuit that he has said before. So this is already we have discussed in the previous session. So I'll skip this. Next, Act 3, Scene 2. This takes place at the court of Duke of Vanholt. Faustus and Mephistopheles enter with the Duke and Duchess of Vanholt. So Faustus asks the pregnant Duchess what she desires. Uh, Earlier, on the bidding of Duke, he erects, he shows an enchanted castle built in the air. It is off stage. Then, on the request of the Duchess, he presents on stage sweet grapes in the dead winter. So Mephistopheles goes away and comes back with grapes. The Duke asks how Faustus got the grapes, and he explains how, with his swift spirit, he was able to fetch grapes on the other side of the globe where it is. The Duchess tastes the grapes and declares them the best she has ever tasted. The Duke commends Faustus for being so learned and kind and promises him rewards. Act 3, Scene 2 shows the insignificant feats Faustus accomplishes with his powers. So Faustus performs a magical trick of obtaining fresh grapes at the request of the Duke and Duchess. In this scene, we learn he spends some of his last fleeting moments providing merriment and delight for the Duke and Duchess. He succeeds temporarily diverting himself and others from important. So earlier in the play, we see the victims of Faustus's tricks meet and narrate their experiences with the magician. The carter tells the story of how he was once cheated of his whole cartload of hay. The horse courser narrates his own experience. Dick refers to their transformation into an ape and a dog because of their conjuring of Mephistopheles. So all these victims of Faustus's tricks, they plan to avenge themselves on Faustus, and for this purpose, they move towards the court of the Duke of Vanport. So they force their entry into the court. Then Dr. Faustus plays more tricks with them as they begin to tell him what he has done with them. Turn by turn, Faustus charms each of them dumb. So, this is what we learned from this session. Faustus presents Duchess with a gift of fresh grapes in the dead winter, and this scene also shows the insignificant feats of Faustus with his powers and how Faustus temporarily diverts himself and others from important concerns of life. So, as the action in these scenes progress, Faustus goes farther and farther from his earlier heroic self, from a titanic aspirant and supposedly who wanted to become a demigod, he becomes a petty trickster who plays vulgar jokes with popes as well as clowns. So gone are the earlier ambitions of filling the public schools with silk, of building a bridge over oceans, and driving the prince of Parma from his land. Instead, now he is happy to mix with the clowns, to play practical jokes with them, and to receive rewards from emperors and dukes. So, in short, he has become a magician who needs the patronage of princes. Though the audience is delighted by his magical tricks, it knows the horrible price which this one-time scholar has offered the devil for these tasks. So now we have some MCQs. Uh, who wants to have a dish of grapes? Answer is Duchess of Van Holt. Where does this scene take place? In the court of the Duke of Van. What does Faustus show at the court of the Duke of Van Holt? An enchanted castle. For the most part, how does Faustus use his tremendous gifts for trifling entertainment? What does Faustus fetch for the Duchess of Van Holt? A dish of